One of the bigger news items this week is related to Yo Gotti's older brother being murdered in Memphis, right? And I don't want to get too much into it, but that's what this conversation will be related to, right? So Yo Gotti's brother was murdered outside of his uncle's repast. So after a funeral, people they do like a reception or a repast or whatever, where family come together, they eat and all that good stuff. And the brother, Yo Gotti's brother, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name off the top because the topic is so much not about him specifically that I didn't even really do research on him specifically, because I really want to talk about how do we get to the point of where it's one thing where in the streets and when people are in poverty and all that good stuff, you have beef, you run into people, you're just angry with life. So it's much easier for you to ignite something that doesn't need to be ignited. You get into fights, fights might turn deadly from shootings or stabbings or any different type of things, right? Because for the most part, you're just angry with life, right? You don't like the way things are going for you. But then as we look at what's going on in Memphis right now, and of course it's all speculation because I'm not in Memphis, and this is just what's going on the internet and online and stuff we see was being said. But we see two camps come out of Memphis, become very successful, making many millions of dollars, right? And they get into essentially a workplace beef, a workplace quarrel, right? Because they're peers in the industry. They're out of the same city. They were traveling in and out of the same cities, New York, LA, Miami, Atlanta. These people are everywhere in the same places as each other, and they both make the similar type of music. And somehow a music quarrel becomes one of the most deadly beefs in Memphis history. Definitely the most deadly beef in rap history, right? A lot of us have heard about the bigger named associations that have been killed, but now this is according to people from in that city and around that follow this stuff every day. Many, many people have been killed because of this back and forth between millionaires. Like this, so we get to the point where it's almost at the point, and I won't even say almost because people have lost their lives, but it's for sure at the point where there's no turning back. All of us outsiders looking in can say, I wish this would stop. I wish, it wouldn't have to go like this, or I wish y'all would make up, find common ground, a truce, peace, ceasefire, all that. But if you're in the middle of it and it's your family member being killed, nobody wants to be the person or the side of I don't even know what to call this, side of a beef. Nobody wants to be on the side that loses the last person. You see what I'm saying? So pretty much what I'm saying is whoever lost the last person is going to want some get back, retribution. They want to up what they call up the skull. You know what I'm saying? They want to get back. So outsiders, we really don't have a bunch of influence. Nothing really we could do. We can't just peace march. We can't post positivity about their city. We can't post positive things about the person who passed away. None of that is going to make the people that's actually in it stop doing what it's gone too far now. These are the type of things that start 20, 30, 40-year wars in gang areas. When you see stuff like, oh, why these people in Chicago beefing like this? Why these people in New York beefing like this? Why these people in California, LA beefing like this? It's because of stuff that happened in the 70s and 80s. The younger people have no idea what started to be. A lot of times be over there and argued about some girl back in the 70s. Somebody got stabbed, and now there's 50 years worth of killings because somebody got stabbed over a girl in 1979. That's how this stuff, and that's what's shaping up to go on in Memphis right now, because who's going to stop it now? Both sides have plenty of money to fund what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Even if some people might think, oh, this person has more money than that. That really don't help. That don't mean nothing. You don't need to have the most money. You just need to have money to fund what's going on. And both sides do. And that's the biggest problem, because most of the people that'll be killed will be poor people. Most of the people that'll be killed won't be the names that we're gonna see on the news and headlines, national news and all that. Most of them will be people we never heard of and probably won't even hear about when they do get killed. That's the worst part about it. Millionaires using their money and resources to have poor people killed in a city that they don't even stay in no more. And even if they did stay, it don't even matter if you still live there. Using your resources that you tried so hard to get so you can get away from that scenario, those situations, using those resources to now cause hectic and mayhem in your hometown is not cool at all. But I wanted to talk about something like, so we hear people talk about generational wealth all the time, right? And I do want to be specific because I hear some people like, yo, 100,000, that ain't no money. 500,000 ain't no money. $1 million ain't no real money. 10 million, I could be comfortable with 10 million or more or whatever. People talk about this like generational wealth has like a number on it, right? There's no number on generational wealth. Any assets. So generational wealth is essentially any assets you could pass on. Any asset, any cash assets, any real estate assets, any type of portfolio that has value, anything you could pass on that has a monetary value attached to it, anything you could pass on to the next generation is considered generational wealth. By definition, that's not me making that up. So somebody that comes in the rap industry and they get to the point where they're worth 30, 40, 50 to 100 million, whatever, you would think, just because of, conversation, you would think, oh, this is generational wealth. They should never have to do X, Y, Z again. But if you get to that point and then you end up having to fund a war in your hometown, or you end up catching some type of gang leader case because now you have funded a war and now somebody's telling on you now, you could lose all of that money that on paper should be considered generational wealth. You could lose it. So what is it worth it, right? Was it not worth it to say, okay, he made a song about my baby mom. He made not a diss about my baby mom. He made a diss about me, telling me how he smashed my baby mom. Is that worth a gang war and potentially losing out on everything you work for? I'm not talking about your brother getting killed. I'm talking about the original issue in this whole situation. Was it worth it to have any type of animosity that could lead to a murder for somebody that made a song about smashing your baby mom? This is not really even for the people that's involved in this now, because this has gone too far in Memphis. There's nothing they can do now. It is what it is for them. But for other people coming up though, you got to make that, because a lot of these rappers just take it like, if you diss me, when I see you, I'm going to try to do something to you. Right? Which is, it is what it is, but does it have to get deadly? No. So is it going to be worth it for you to go get somebody killed or participate in a beef that could potentially end up getting somebody killed because of that type of activity, because of a rap about a girl, right? So you can mess up generational wealth, which it's not generational wealth now because you're about to mess it up. So now $50 million becomes just, hey, that guy had $50 million and then he lost it because he had to fund this situation. That's not worth it. This is really just on some preachy stuff, which I don't know. I normally try to let's just stick to some facts and stuff like that. But it is really a lesson for a lot of other people. And I know Gucci and Jeezy have expressed how they feel like they kind of kicked off what's going on right now, because they set the example for how so many rappers after them handled issues with each other. And that's facts. That's why I think even when Gucci was taking all them shots at Jeezy up there on that Versus stage, I think that Jeezy was so not engaging with that because he really realized that they messed up when they set that example for the whole industry. And it's not, nobody should have followed them, but a lot of people did follow their lead on that. You know what I'm saying? And I think he really realized they messed up. And I think Gucci also realized he don't want that to be his legacy. You see what I'm saying? He didn't want that to be the example that he set for the industry. And they put differences aside just to do a performance together, which we call Versus. But that was a performance that they did together. And I think they realized that that wasn't the way that they should have handled any of that, especially since it was a music dispute. The dispute comes from music. It didn't have to go to where it went to because this wasn't even about nothing that had to do with the streets at all. You see what I'm saying? So I think that we should not we, because I'm not in nothing like that, but I think that you young rappers and you dudes coming up that think y'all want to rap and all that, figure out some type of conflict resolution. This stuff don't ever have to get this far. You spending hundreds of thousands trying to get people knocked off that's poor and all that type of stuff. These don't even make sense. It really don't. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let me get off that. I just wanted to say that, man. Shout out to Memphis and everybody in Memphis, and hopefully they find a way to not continue what's going on right now. It's a nasty situation. Once you start, it started from a made man being knocked off. You see what I'm saying? You can't do this, man. Now another made man is knocked off, so it's I don't see it getting any better anytime soon, honestly. So Memphis is a city full of people who don't care about your name. If you do something to them, there's people on every side that'll do something back to you. So, it's unfortunate, man. Hopefully, I don't even know what hopefully nothing. I don't know.